Good afternoon. It is Friday, May 26, 2023. The Sabbath was obviously a sticking point between the Pharisees and Jesus. Jesus orchestrated several incidents of breaking the Sabbath rules of the Pharisees and then used them as teaching moments for his disciples. In Mark chapter 2, verses 23 to 28, and I'm reading from the New Living Translation, second edition, it says, one Sabbath day as Jesus was walking through some grain fields, his disciples began breaking off heads of grain to eat. But the Pharisees said to Jesus, "Look, why are they breaking the law by harvesting grain on the Sabbath?" Jesus said to them, "Haven't you ever read in the scriptures what David did when he and his companions were hungry? He went to the house of God during the days when Abiathar was high priest and broke the law by eating the sacred loaves of bread that only the priests are allowed to eat. He also gave some to his companions." Then Jesus said to them, "The Sabbath was made to meet the needs of people, and not people to meet the needs of the Sabbath. So the Son of Man is Lord, even over the Sabbath." Wow. It says that they were walking through the grain fields. This wouldn't have been on a road. This would have been a path through the fields, probably a shortcut between 2 points. And as they're going by, since the grain was ripe, the disciples just reached over and grabbed a handful and started chewing on it. Not the best kind of breakfast to eat, but you're hungry. It's like picking a piece of fruit off of a fruit tree as you're walking through a path that has fruit trees, or finding strawberries in the forest. And they ate it. They snagged a snack along the way. And they didn't see it as any more than that. But the Pharisees automatically got all upset and all up in their stuff and excited because it was the Sabbath day and they were officially harvesting. They just reached out and grabbed a handful. But to the Pharisees, that was harvest. That was work. Could not be done on the Sabbath. And so Jesus listened to their complaints, and I can't imagine he did it without smirking. He used an Old Testament example from 1 Samuel 21 of David feeding his men, and pointed out to them that even King David broke their Sabbath rules on occasion. And they were flummoxed with that, did not know how to respond to him. And he told them that the Sabbath was made for man, to serve man, to help man, not man-made for the Sabbath to serve the Sabbath. Rules of thumb and traditions are good, and they help us encourage the best behavior among ourselves. But the needs of individuals are more important than the petty rules that we come up with to try and mandate our own behavior. Our people are more important than programs. We had a food box. We were collecting food for the food bank at the church there for a while, and folks would always bring food to the food box. And we had a hungry person stop by the church one day, and they weren't asking for money. They were just asking if we had any food. And we had a package of ramen noodles in the food box. And so I gave them the package of ramen noodles, and it wasn't much, but it was something. They were grateful. They said, "Great, we can go back and, have something to eat tonight." And they were thrilled. But someone got so upset with me because that food was supposed to go to the food box, the food pantry. And I says, well, it went to a hungry person. And the hungry person in front of us is more important than the poster above it that says it's going to the food bank. We had that very same example happen. And it was interesting to me how people were so stuck on what the rules were that they wanted to ignore the person in front of them. It's people that are important, not our traditions and our rules. And my hope and prayer this week is that you will find some of the important people God has placed in your life and do good for them and care for them and help them feel better about themselves. That people become more important than other things around us. God bless you.